Don't let pandemic homeschooling ruin your idea of what homeschooling is. Firstly, it was a pandemic. Unprecedented times.
Unprecedented and unprecedented.
Completely unprecedented, of course.
We didn't know if there would be food for everyone. We didn't know if there would be enough medicine for everyone. We had no idea about vaccinations, if they were good for us, bad for us. We were stuck inside.
You must stay at home.
We were only allowed out for an hour a day. So if you didn't have a garden, if you were in a flat or something, you were literally like a prisoner in your own home. And if you were in a small home with young children with bundles of energy, I imagine that must have been incredibly tough. We weren't allowed to socialise. You couldn't go out and see your friends. You couldn't meet up with other parents. Your kids couldn't see their friends. You could only do Zoom calls. We basically lived our lives through memes. I'll put a few of my favourites up. If you'd like to share any of your favourites down below, I'd love to see them. They were brilliant. You can go to tourist attractions like museums or gardens or art galleries. You can go swimming. You couldn't go climbing. You couldn't do football club. You couldn't do gymnastics club. You couldn't do anything. And on top of all that, we were terrified that either we or our loved ones would die. So it was like a really horrible experience. And then you put your homeschooling on top of that. I was quite lucky. My son was only a year old at the time, so we didn't have to deal with the homeschooling. From what I heard, it seemed like there was a couple of hours of work, if that, and then you had to figure out the rest of the day for your kids with probably only your knowledge of the curriculum from back in the day when you went to school, and everything has changed now, and you probably really struggled, right? So you're having to deal with all that whilst dealing with the panic and fear regarding a global pandemic, all whilst trying to work, probably without any way of managing to rearrange your work around homeschooling. But real homeschooling is not homeschooling. Your homeschooling doesn't have to look like school, which is why a lot of people call it home education. You don't have to follow a curriculum. You are not legally obliged to follow the curriculum. You are legally obliged to give your children a suitable education that is tailored to their age. Under Section 7 of the 1996 Education Act, parents should provide suitable full-time education to their age, ability and aptitude, and to any special educational needs they may have, either by regular attendance at school or otherwise. That is your legal duty. And now you're free. You don't have to stay in your flat or your house and only go out for an hour a day. You're free. You can spend as much time outside as you like. You can go to museums, you can go swimming and climbing, and you can go to all of the clubs. You can meet people. You can go out and do things with other people. You can socialise with anyone and everyone of all ages. You can spend 3 hours of your day digging for rocks if you wanted. You could tailor your week to get really good at baking bread, if that is what your child is passionate about. You can really allow them to follow their passions. It doesn't have to be 9 till 3. You can wake up really late if you've got teenagers and they don't want to get up before midday. You can start your school day at 12 o'clock. You can sack off history if they really hate it. You could tone down the algebra if you don't feel it's necessary. You don't have to take GCSEs if you don't want to. If you have other ideas of where they can go and what they can do. If they want to get an apprenticeship as a nail technician or a chef, they probably don't need those GCSEs anyway. The point is, home education is freedom. You can do what you want, and it can be really fun. This is not to say that there are not hard days, because there are definitely hard days, and it can definitely be a struggle sometimes. But if you do have the means to do it, don't let pandemic homeschooling put you off what you could be doing. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'll see you again soon. Bye.